Hi, I'm Phil Constantine. On this episode of Travels with Phil, we're going to Idaho and Shoshone Falls and the Evel Knievel Snake River motorcycle jump site. Both of these are in southern Idaho, and so let's take a look around and see where it's at. I'm in San Diego. Let's travel across the country here up into the state of Idaho, again, the southern part of Idaho. And you can see here the city of Twin Falls, a nice community out there. And the spots we're going to are up north. This is Shoshone Falls, sometimes called the Niagara of the West. And we're also going to be looking at the Evel Knievel jump site where in 1974 he tried to jump the Snake River Canyon. So let's head on over to Shoshone Falls, located here in Twin Falls. Locals may call it Shoshone, but I call it Shoshone Falls. This is a sign as you come into the park there. And it's 212 feet high, making it 45 feet higher than Niagara. That's why they sometimes call it Niagara of the West, a very impressive waterfall, so it's understandable, the comparison. Now, the width will vary depending on the seasons, the snow runoff, that kind of thing. It can be as much as 925 feet wide. Now, this is a live video from August 2023, which shows the lower summer flows. So let's take a look at the history of Shoshone Falls and the Snake River. About 14,500 years ago, Lake Bonneville broke through Red Rock Pass in Idaho and a mega flood hit the Snake River. Well, this mega flood gouged out the river area and made the falls. Now, the falls became too high for salmon to jump, and this became the eastern limit. Well, a lot of tribes, including the Shoshone, for who it's named, set up camps here. In 1905, the first of many dams was added here on the river, about 24 miles from where the falls are, and the dams allowed irrigation, opened up lots of land, and it became called the Miracle Valley. Since the dam, Shoshone Falls has seldom reached its upper limits, but it still remains impressive by all means. Now, there's lots of easy-to-reach trails in the area, many with excellent views. In fact, almost all of them have excellent views. You can also paddle up the river if you start several miles downstream at Centennial Park. So here's a look at the falls themselves. According to the World Waterfall Database, it's the 34th widest waterfall in the world. Lots of trails out here. You can get out there in wheelchairs for a lot of them. It's right off the parking lot, so it's very easy to access, even if you have people who can't get around very well. Very easy for them to get out to a good view of the falls themselves, but you can do a lot of scrambling. There are a lot of trails in the area as well. Beautiful pictures there. And as we look off toward the west in the sunset, this nice drone shot, you can see the falls themselves, a little bit of the dams behind it, and some of the electrical systems up there for the dam, hydroelectric power. Now, as you look off to the west there, well, the Evel Knievel Snake River motorcycle jump site is less than a mile downstream on the left-hand side in this picture. In 1974, Knievel attempted to jump the Snake River Canyon, and as many as 1 million people, actually more than that, are reported to have watched this event. So let's give an idea where that is. There's Shoshone Falls at the bottom, and just a little bit up the road, less than a mile, is where the jump site is located. You can see it over on the right-hand side. They built a earthen ramp, but it's a quarter of a mile from edge to edge. So they figured that's not going to be enough, so they had to build some scaffolding on top of that. But that's what's left today. Now, Robert Craig Knievel, or Evel Knievel, was a motorcycle stunt performer. He did over 75 significant ramp-to-ramp motorcycle jumps, usually over large obstacles.
My name is Evel Knievel. I'm a professional daredevil.
Now, this is archive footage in 1971 when he jumped over a bunch of cars and vans in the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, and that's what he was known for. Now, he was known for a lot of his unsuccessful jumps. He broke almost every bone in his body, even held a Guinness World Record. But the vast majority of his jumps were successful, as you can see by this long map here, or a long list of things. Now, a lot of people said when he wanted to jump the canyon, this is what it was going to look like. Well, that's not practical. Now, there's the earthen ramp, and then on top of it is the scaffolding for the rocket bike that he built and put up on top of there. They realized the regular motorcycle couldn't make it. So this was a steam-powered motorbike or a rocket bike on wheels, so it's still technically a motorcycle, even though it's listed as an aircraft.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And unfortunately, just after liftoff, the drogue parachute popped out and it caused it to not make it all the way across. Now, this is what the area looks like today. The scaffolding is gone, but the ramp still remains, so you can go out there and see that now. This is Evel explaining that a regular motorcycle could make it. he had to use something that had more power to it. And this is the actual X2 that he used. And you can see some of the pictures here from the day it happened. And the photos taken at the time said it actually made it over to the north side of the valley, but when the chute opened, it drifted him back over. Now, that's a sign that's still out there, by the way. And incidentally, in 2016, Eddie Braun actually did jump the Snake River on a motorcycle, so it showed it could happen. Now, he was on TV a lot. He had several movies. This one was made about him, starring George Hamilton, a big star from the time. And he played himself in the 1977 action film Viva Knievel. Now, he got his nickname as a teenager. He was in jail for a short period of time for stealing hubcaps. So there was a guy in jail named Awful Knaufel. He says, you ought to call yourself Evel Knievel. Knievel liked it, but he changed the spelling. His name appeared on lots of toys in the 1970s. He was a big hero to lots of boys. I met him in 77 when he was in Houston promoting his movie Viva Knievel. He was a very flamboyant dresser, and these are just some of the rings he liked to wear. And this is a photo he gave me from his movie Viva Knievel during the time I interviewed him. Now, here's a brief editorial about him. While I am still impressed by his daredevil skills, I always found him enigmatic. He always warned kids about the evil of drugs and extolled the virtues of doing what was right. During our interview for his movie, he said, America needs more movies for the whole family which express positive virtues. Yet, interesting, the photo he gave me was of him shooting at drug dealers with a pistol. Now, Knievel's popularity dimmed after he was arrested for using a baseball bat to assault a Hollywood studio head who Knievel thought had betrayed him. But he remains a legend. So there's a couple of spots you can visit in Twin Falls, Idaho. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please feel free to make comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And if you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button below. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the circle with my picture in it in the lower right-hand corner of the video. The arrow is pointing at it now. And once you have subscribed, you can be notified of when I have a new video posted by clicking on the bell icon in the description field below the video. Thanks again for watching.